Beautiful. Thank you. That's one of my very, very favorite songs. And our fleet knows that. And this morning, as we gather, we're the 2 or 3 or 5 gathered together for a higher purpose. And we feel that Holy I Am presence here in the midst of us. We are in the presence of angels. And our Joan of Angels is a visionary artist. So we walk in, and I'm looking at this most amazing angel right in front of me. And I love that the Archangel Michael is behind me. So I feel like angels all around us. And as we call in the angels, the archangels, and all enlightened beings to cleanse, purify, harmonize, balance, attune, and heighten the energy field, we know that that energy goes before us and prepares the way as we become a light into our own path. And I was sharing, actually at Wednesday Night Live, that I received notification that our park did not want those of religious persuasion doing the recordings in the privacy of their own home. Now, we don't ever have an audience. We have, our wonderful energies that are here with us, and we never really have over 5 people. But on Palm Sunday, we had our Rose christening service, and we had about 10 of us. And on Easter Sunday, I think we had about 14. And gathering in that energy and to have our community that we have not seen, even though it was, it was the energy that came forward, and we could feel that energy, and there was so much love. And, one of our community came into my courtyard at the Rose of Sharon Sanctuary and said, "This is magical." And to feel that energy of the magic. And I love Dean Rudin, who is the head scientist at Noetic Sciences. He wrote a book he called it Magic, and looking at the paranormal. And he felt that the empirical scientific community did not open the space for the mystical. And when we open the space for the mystical, energetically all is revealed. So there were some that, of course, felt this was very unjust to kick me out of the park doing recordings for a higher purpose. And I wrote the president of the association, and if you're listening, I bless you and I acknowledge you. They did know that we were on YouTube. They checked us out with the Secretary of State and saw that we were also on YouTube. So if you're listening, I want you to know we have only love for you. We bless you. We acknowledge you. That, in fact, Carol Hemingway said it beautifully, and she is the wonderful manager at the Desert Crest Sales. And she said, we can go by the letter of the law, right? Right down in the rigid letter of the law, or we can go with the spirit of the law. And when we go with the spirit of the law, that turn that our Reverend Fleet sang, that energy, that there is a season for all things. So we can feel, at the effect of this, we can feel persecuted. There's a lot of that going around these days, not just, other viruses, but there are other energies that are going around. But what I love about our way of life is that we are not at the effect of anything. And when I was talking to the Reverend Dr. Clayton Beaver, who was our in-house attorney, he said, isn't it wonderful the way spirit works? Because it was time for you to get out and expand. And in the esoteric realm, when things happen to us, we can be at the effect of it. Ain't it awful? This is so unjust, and I'm just such a victim, and I'm feeling like a martyr. Or I can know with Jesus the Christ, I am the resurrection and the life. That the angel, what did she do? She moved. She turned the stone and moved it from the tomb. And behold, no one was there. Because I have risen as I said I would. We rise above circumstances. We rise above what is immediately in front of us. We rise above negativity. We rise above judgment. We rise above criticism. And so those of you who are viewing, we have nothing but absolute love for this situation, because we know that it's time for us. It's about expansion. In the esoteric parlance, nothing happens by chance. Everything is a divine appointment. Everything. So it's time for us to move out in a greater way. And Reverend Joan and I, we went to one certain place and we realized that it was just not the energy for us. We loved the name of the place, but the energy was very chaotic. And we realized this was not the place for us. And it was good. We went there for lunch and it took us 3 hours to get lunch. We ordered 2 sandwiches. So we thought, no, this is just not the place for us. And then a beautiful friend, Stephanie, she gave me some ideas, and we met at another venue, which after our service today, we're going to go as a group and to this venue and look into meeting there, because it's time for our people to join us. And as we join together in that energy, we feel the joy of community. We felt it on Easter Sunday. We felt that energy of magic and knowing that the miraculous is here in the midst of us. And that no matter what we go through, as Reverend Fleet sang, this too shall pass, right? And I love that great, wonderful story about the Eastern monarch who called in all of his viziers and wise men. He said, I want you to, here is my gold ring. I want something engraved on the inside of it so that no matter what I go through in life, if it's wonderful and it's a celebration, that statement fits. If it's sadness, if it's sorrow, that statement fits. And he gave the ring to his wise men. And about a week or so later, they came back. They had found the statement to be engraved within his beautiful gold ring that would fit every situation in life. And as he looked at it, he said, yes, this fits every situation. And would you like to know what it said? I won't make you tune in next week. I'll tell you it right now. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. So if it's celebratory and wonderful, we can't sit too long on our laurels, can we? Got to get off our assets and be about our Father, Mother, God's business, right? And if it were in a sorrowful situation, guess what? This too shall pass. That life goes not backward nor tarries with yesterday. Life is the forward progression of the soul. So when I received these notifications that I was kicked out of the park, no longer able to, in the privacy of my own home, record our services, I just went within. And I loved when I shared with my group. We all came together. I mean, at first you're stunned and you go through the kind of the human reaction, but it's about expansion. It's about moving to the next level. He drew a circle that shut me out. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. And if you're listening, President of the Association, we drew a circle that brought you in. And we know that love is the strongest healing power in the universe. And that if we could love enough, we would be the most powerful being on the planet. So when I went within, I did not feel victimized. I felt that this is a catalyst for growth and for change, and the opportunity that it's a God call, and we receive it as a call from God, that it's time to move out. We've been cocooned for 1 year at the Rose of Sharon Sanctuary. It has been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And any neighbors that did complain about the 4 cars in front of my house, I bless you as well. I heard about that too, and in my letter I wrote that it's so wonderful that my immediate next door neighbors, they were leaving for Washington, they're snowbirds, and they said, oh, we just hope you're going to be our neighbor forever. And I said, oh yes, I received that. I love that. And the neighbor behind me, he wrote me a little letter. A package came to him by mistake that was for me, and he'd been at one of my services at the Camelot Theater. And he wrote me this beautiful letter about how he loves my music. And, you know, I play flute music for the trees, and they've like tripled in size. And he said, I'm just so happy that you live here and that we have your energy. And then 3 doors down is Laura, who said, I love your online messages. I get so much value. So I know that I'm making a difference right where I am. And that blessed are those who have what? Ears that hear, who have eyes that see through appearances, conditions, and differences, because we're drawn together through our similarities, aren't we? And we grow through our differences. This is why I love our way of life. That he drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took them in. And that we are expanding in amazing ways and growing and have a place where we can be in community. And of course, we'll miss little Miss Minnie. I had to wave goodbye to her this morning, and she wondered why she wasn't going to be part of the service, especially our, Reverend Prince always holds her, and she just loves him and loves to be a part of the service. But she's understanding as well. So we're moving to the next level. We're turning. We're acknowledging that ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. For guess what? Those that ask, receive. Those that seek, find. And those that knock, the door is opened unto them. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man, woman hear my voice, let them answer, and I will come in to them and sup with them, and they with me. That it's about this oneness with spirit. Whatever you conceive your God to be, whatever name you put on your higher power, it matters not, but to acknowledge that which is within us is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects. And sometimes those conditions, don't they seem real? They seem real. And those appearances that show up that we give our power away to, a year can go by and we even wonder why we were upset, right? And so as we look at these things, these appearances and conditions and effects of certain thought energy, what the mind of man and woman can conceive and believe, the mind of humanity can achieve, right? So we're about expansion. We're about life cycles. The topic this morning is life cycles. And that for every contraction, there's a greater expansion. And when I was in Florence, Italy, I noticed something interesting when I was going to all the cathedrals and so many beautiful tapestries, that we could only see the image of the artistry through the darker threads. If they had just been light threads, you wouldn't even notice the images. But with the darker threads, the images were vibrant. You could get a sense of it. You could step into the tapestry. It was miraculous. So for each and every one of us, let us embrace the darker moments. Let us embrace the darker threads, because out of that, we emerge with so much energy and power, and acknowledge that we are the sum total of every experience that we have ever had. So again, whenever I feel that I've gotten the divine boot, I always land on higher ground. And this is how the law of circulation works. And when we realize that, then we'll take everything as a divine appointment, a divine call. And we'll keep loving our the protagonists that are there, that are reporting us to whomever. We can bless them. They're all part. Judas was very necessary for Jesus to say, I am the resurrection and the life. Destroy this house, and in 3 days, I will build it up again. In 3 days, I will build it up again. So we bless every Judas in our life that allowed us to go to the next level so that we could know in this hour were we sent. For this time did we come. For this energy that allows us to join together at such a deep, deep, wonderful level, and to really get it get it of who we are and why we're here, and to fulfill this destiny. I love our way of life. I love our journey. I love the opportunity that we have as life presents itself to embrace the substance, right? Aesop had a fable. It's one of my favorites about the dog, and he's trotting along and he's got a piece of meat in his mouth. He's trotting along, he comes to a bridge and he's trotting over the bridge and he kind of peers in. He sees, the river going underneath the bridge, and he sees his shadow, but he thinks it's another dog. And of course the shadow is much larger and that piece of meat was much larger. So as he got to the more shallow part of the bridge, he let go of this piece of meat to grab the piece of meat in the shadow. And as he grasped for the shadow, he lost his substance. He lost what he had. So we will not grasp at shadows. We will keep the substance that is within us, and we will expand and nurture through that. And the opportunity that we have at the very deepest level to know that there is a season for everything. And that as we turn to the right and turn to the left and acknowledge that we are never, ever alone, that the angels do go before us and prepare the way. And to know that the angels can soar because why? They take themselves lightly. They take themselves lightly. So we are surrounded by angels today, and it feels so wonderful to be in this place with people that I feel so deeply, deeply loved by and that I love. And to me, that is the riches of life. To love and be loved is the greatest, most wonderful gift on the planet, isn't it? And we're all together on this path, and I just love that we're joined together on the planet because we're all going somewhere. And where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. Where is it? Higher yet. For we are in a high place, and we will not come down. None of these outer things move us. We are in a high place, and we will not come down. So I say to you, namaste. That divinity within me salutes the divinity within you, and the divinity within you salutes the divinity within me. And if I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. And I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, every single one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for my viewing audience here today, my beautiful friends and spiritual family. Thank you. I accept your acknowledgement. And the opportunity that we have just to keep moving and going higher. And now our wonderful, the Reverend Prince Fleet Easton has something so beautiful planned for us.